You're back with Tampa Bay's Media Talk, presented by Tampa Digital Studios. We have our Creative of the Week here in the studio with us.
What does that mean, Janet?
That means you get to present Larry Quick with our Creative of the Week mug.
Larry Quick, I expect you to be drinking coffee out of that in the morning.
Wow, look at that.
Or you can have some wine on your way out, whatever you need.
Just use it. Put some pencils in it on your desk, whatever it is. Now, you know what? Because you probably have an incredible desk. You probably have a lot of tools to write things down because you are an incredibly creative person.
Well, he's probably got paintbrushes and markers and
he's probably got
colored
pencils.
Kind of
things.
Well, what can I say? This is the most fabulous award. I'd like to thank my mum.
Well, besides getting the award and obviously feeling extremely honored, why are you here? Because you live in Providence, Rhode Island,
That's
right?
Correct, yeah.
You've been traveling around the world your whole, pretty much for this career you've been in, which is what? And then you're in Clearwater because of why?
That's a good question.
Okay.
And you have 8 minutes to
Where
tell
do we
it
start?
in.
Okay. Well, I've been told keep it short. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
That's my son who's here with me at the time.
He said keep it short?
He said keep it short.
Why is it that the kids always got to tell
I know,
dads like,
kids
Dad, you
telling
talk
me, Dad,
too
you gotta
much.
keep it shorter.
Like that's what I do for a living.
The in a sort of short as you can be around the seriousness of community development, if you like, or community planning or community strategies, which is what I do, is that I'm here in the Tampa Bay region, and I call it a region, which I'll come back to, is to work in the Clearwater Downtown on a revitalisation project. But if we look at that as creative community planning, if you like, or community planning at a very creative level, and focusing on that downtown area as part of a bigger whole, if you like, as the regional perspective that comes into that as well. So we're working in the downtown there, but we're not necessarily doing an economic development plan or a social development plan. We're really looking at what we call as a whole community. That is taking into account the social, the economic, the ecological, the cultural, the built environment, and putting all those sorts of things together into a whole places plan. And then that, at the community level, is informed by the regional level. And I think that's one of the things that interests me as well, is what are we doing in Tampa Bay regionally?
Right.
What makes Tampa Bay a soft spot for you? What? Because you're successful where you go and do these. Why do you want to do it here?
It's just a natural part of what Tampa Bay really is about, and I don't quite think they get it. I mean, I'm not suggesting that they're not thinking about it, but I mean, I'm talking about the power of regionalisation that exists today in the world. The folks, say in Clearwater, really understand what a whole place is at the local level, why they need to be sticking together and working together. Particularly, say, for instance, the Clearwater Downtown Partnership as a public-private partnership, by bringing the public sector and the private sector together at a small community level. But if you look at the regional perspective, you know, America is competing with some very big forces internationally. And the whole of the world is regionalising to actually have a much more stronger base of social, economic, ecological, cultural, etc., competition, if you like. So I think what just makes it a natural part of a region is if you just look around. I mean, this is a region whether you like it or not. I mean,
right.
It's sort of like
just geographically, it's stuck.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's not that you make it one. For instance, I'll give you another example in terms of New England, is that Boston, Worcester, and Providence are part of a regional whole. Now, if you split it up state-wise or municipality-wise, it doesn't look that way, but that's not the way it really works. Just think about that. How many times have you been to Clearwater or Tampa or St. Pete in the last month? I mean, you guys just transact around the place.
It's part of the
You just happen to have...
Especially Rob here.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it earlier, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
You just happen to have a way of collecting tax dollars that's municipally based. But think of all the other transactions, the social side, the socialisation of this region, the cultural side of this region, the economics of the region, the ecology of the region, the built environment. They're all connected up. They're a part of a bigger system. And and understanding that as a region, and if we can get a regional strategy happening between the three key places, Clearwater, Tampa, and St. Pete, and then take that thinking at the community level as well, because it's the same sort of thing. Small system, big system, global system.
Exactly. It frustrates me, and I'm sure that it's something that you see as such an obvious, is the regionalization of areas where you look at Tampa and Clearwater almost struggling to get their own people here into Tampa. Oh, we've got to get them to the beaches over here. But such geographically close, communities fighting for dollars of people coming in here, but yet each offer such an individual experience that it would almost seem like, why don't they work together to bring people here as a whole, as Tampa Bay as a region? And what a great philosophy. It's got to frustrate the hell out of you when you go to communities and you see people, we're Clearwater over here, you know what I mean? And we're trying to get our beaches filled and our hotel rooms filled. It's
well, I think I've sort of gone past the frustration. I think one of the places I do get frustrated is where the municipal sort of zoning laws, say, for instance, get in the way. Or where the sort of industrial view of how we separate things and silo things gets in the way. But I mean, that's history, and that's part of what we've got to get over. It's not much point getting. It's like cursing at the darkness. No, rather than curse at the darkness, light a candle. Because I think the power is that most people understand that this is a region, and it's just a matter of affecting that sort of change in thinking. So I know the guys that I'm working with in Clearwater. They really understand that they're not here to compete. They're here to complement.
Right.
And I think that complementary strategy is what you're talking about. So if you're all doing the same thing, that's going to be a problem. So that draws us to the creativity or the creation of authentic places. So the question for us in Clearwater at the moment is, how do we make the Clearwater downtown an authentic, coming back to your point, experience?
Yeah.
Larry, I want to step back a minute and ask you to explain one of your questions. What do organizations and places need to do to be 21st century capable?
How many minutes have I got left?
He got about 2 minutes.
90 seconds.
Well, I'll give you the potted version of
Okay.
that. Well,
give us your son's version.
I'll give Ben's version. 21st century capability is different to 20th century capability. We are in a knowledge and creative economy. And we're also in a next economy. What is happening after you've got your sum total of knowledge and creative economy. So it is a different way of thinking, and that requires different processes, different language, and different, sometimes jargon, which we get sort of caned for sometimes. But where our strength comes in is looking at communities in a more complex way, that the organisation is part of a community. So a lot of the times we're working with organisations and the community in the same sort of setting as a creative community can be. So, and using 21st century capability. So the sorts of capabilities that the community has, the organisation needs, and the sorts of capabilities the organisation needs, the community has. So there's no real separation. But the biggest change in thinking, and I won't go into great detail on this, is that we've come out of an industrial machine metaphor, that the world is a machine. That we silo things up, have a department of social this, department of economic this, and we do this economic development plan, and there's this built environment plan, land use.
Over here, there's paperwork.
And before you know it, everyone goes crazy. In a knowledge economy, that actually stops the flow of knowledge. In a creative economy, it stops the flow of creativity. Mm-hmm. So unless you see them all as one whole system, where they're all interdependent and all part of each other, then you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get traction. So part of the process we use brings those things together.
Yeah. Wow.
That was
good for 90
serious
seconds.
90 seconds. Yeah, you know what? We could spend the whole hour on this thing here. So we're just going to give everybody a little taste, and then they can contact you and see what you're going to be doing downtown Clearwater and for our community, our region. Tell us how we can get a hold of you, how we can find information out about your company that you
New Commons organization.
Well, if you go to the web, you'll find us at www.newcommons.com.
Oh, that's easy.
NEWCOMMONS.com.
I know Rob enjoyed the last 45 minutes before the show talking to you. I couldn't drag him out of the...
We related on the Harley thing.
Yeah, the Harley thing is cool, yeah.
That's right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on our show, and I hope you enjoy.
And thank you so much for this. This will be going straight to the trophy room.
That's wonderful.